So I may have started this recording without realizing that my that my microphone was off. So we're here today at Drake Day. We're just gonna go right in. So we have the Cutlass Black. This is the first ship from Drake. It is absolutely the pinnacle jack of all trades if you're looking for multi-crew. The Titan is definitely good for solo pilots. This a little bit less so, but it is a great ship, especially, I mean, even if you just have two people, it's an amazing ship. So you got this giant ass cargo ramp. Now, this was one of the earliest ships. It also used to be very different, but it got a pretty big upgrade. You see, you got little drop seats here. I think this might get in the way of cargo. I'm not completely sure actually, but actually, I would hope not. I digress, though. It's got big old cargo, big old side doors. It's actually pretty hard to get back into this right now. They're looking at solutions for it. This has a gold standard on the progress tracker, although that's not completing anytime soon, I believe. I don't think it's even started yet, so you know. But the cargo bay can hold a Cyclone. Could probably actually fit 2 Cyclones if you're careful about it, or actually, hell, maybe even 3. But if you're careful about it. Definitely Dragonflies. You have the habitation area, 2 beds, turret. I think this area might have a little bit of an upgrade coming to it in the future. We'll have to see. Very cool cockpit. These sections actually lift up. The pilot and co-pilot seats, very cool, very nice. Cannot wait to see the gold standard because it is an amazing ship. Armaments on it. You have 4 size 3 mounts. They come stock with gimbaled size 2s, and you have the turret with 2 size 3s. You have a shitload of missiles. I don't know how many. I don't want to give you a number because I just honestly do not know, but it is an absolute assload of missiles. You can load it with an absolute assload of size 1s. Now the Cutlass Red, moving up, I think it's the next most expensive in price, and I think it also came out next, which hell was actually last year, funnily enough. So the Cutlass Red is the ambulance version. It partitions off the cargo area into very small cargo area, no drop seats. And med beds. These are tier 3. They're the lowest they're the lowest tier bed. You can't respawn from them, but it can heal all tier 3 injuries. Which I mean, subject for change, subject for balance. The only injuries I think I've seen, maybe 1 tier 2, but I mean, even then, I mean, yeah. So tier 3 beds, they're decent. They're decent enough. Biggest change with the Cutlass Red is that they add 2, I guess, crew beds for maybe medics. So I assume 2 I assume 2 bunks for medics / doctors, I guess. Depends on how self-conscious they are about titles. 2 beds for crew members, 4 gun racks for the whole family, and 2 armor racks for half the family. The pilot and co-pilot probably do not have to be wearing pants for the majority of the Cutlass Red's in-flight time. Just a food for thought. Also, you have a shoilet instead of the turret because this is a medical ship, and the fact that it has guns is actually a breach of the Geneva Convention, I believe, but we can look past that. Then we have the Cutlass Blue, which, like the Red, has a cargo section partitioned off, and instead of healing people you can capture them and keep them frozen. Not quite in carbonite, but a very similar thing. I'm actually honestly trying to think if the Cutlass Blue came out before the Mandalorian. But yeah, eventually, I can't remember, honestly. But yeah, you have these cryopods. I don't know. That looks very menacing. But whatever. These are on like a spindle system that you can just rotate, cycle through them, put prisoners in, bring them in. Also, on the Cutlass Red and Blue, you have these doors. I seriously do not understand. I seriously do not understand why these are so hard to freaking use right now. I mean, I guess to be fair, like ship-to-ship docking isn't actually a thing, so it's whatever. They're just more aesthetic. I think I was playing around with this before, and you can see that it does actually extend out. You can see the other side is not extended, although it doesn't really extend out that much, but whatever. Overall, great series of ships. Again, they're in gold standard, or they're coming up. Their gold standard pass is coming, so look forward to that. The Caterpillar once hailed the king of cargo ships. Has had that title, I guess, taken away a little bit, just a little bit though, because well, the real king of cargo, the whole series is close. It's close. So it's got these 4 sections here, plus the front section, which I don't think... well, these 4 sections are modular, but we only have the cargo variant, or the cargo module in right now. The front, I don't think is modular, although I'm not completely 100% on that. Also, for anybody gawking at these massive protrusions, these are actually just parking sensors. Is that a parking sensor in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? Anyways, so yeah, this massive cargo, eventually it's going to be modular. We don't know what kind of modules, but it's a thing to look forward to. It's got 2 dual-size 4 turrets on it, and this, I can't remember what the actual name of it is, but the cockpit module thing. You can see it has some weapons on it. This is actually supposed to be its kind of well, it's supposed to be its own ship. You can detach it from the main body of the ship, and it can fly off and do its own thing, which is cool and very nice. So yeah, also there's a ramp right, or an elevator right there. That dude's gonna go check it out. I'm not, because I just need to get this done. I'm not gonna go into that. It's not too labyrinthian in the interior, but it's a little weird, but it's not that bad. Also, those cargo areas get filled to the brim if you fill them all the way up, and like literally the only way to walk is through those catwalks. It's a pretty cool little design. It's very cool. So now we have the budget data runner, / maybe hacking thing. I don't know. I think we can check out the interior. It's a very small interior. It's a bit like a hacker van. The Drake Herald. As we can see, you have. I assume this is a weapon rack. I don't know how many weapons it can actually hold. I don't think it can hold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 6. I doubt it can hold 6 weapons. But well, I don't know. You got 1 seat. It's very Cutlass-like in the cockpit area. You have the racks. The little hacking support center, more computers, storage. It's not actually functional right now. You've got a bed, and I think... yes, the Drake answer. I guess this is just a toilet. I don't know, we'll see. Might become a toilet in the future. We've got, I don't know if that's supposed to be a mirror. I assume so. You got a little sink, emergency supplies. It's very nice. It's very nice. I think this is actually also one of the... I think this is the fastest ship in the game, I want to say. Could be wrong. But it's certainly up there. Now, data runners have to be fast because their entire purpose is to get data to places quickly. Now, exactly how data running works is still kind of up in the air, but it's... I mean, like, okay, so somebody wants to... okay, so, like, you're an explorer, you have this data, somebody's hired you to get this data, like, survey an area, okay? You go, you give them the data, and then that person needs that data to be sent back to their headquarters in another system or something. So you take that data, and you have to get that data to the headquarters as fast as possible. That's the kind of thing. There might... I mean, I don't know. I don't know. But... I don't know how data running is going to work, but I think that's the gist of it. I mean, there's also a lot more data than just, like, mining surveys or whatever. But a good bit of data for you here. Drake Buccaneer is probably my favorite light fighter, I would say, just because it's so brazen with its weaponry. So you have... you got size 3, size 1, and a size 4. And you have another size 3 and another size 1 on the other side, and you got some missiles. You can also swap out, if you want to have a fully gimbaled loadout, you can have basically the same loadout as a... you can have basically the same loadout as a Reliant with you can have a gimbaled size 3 if you want, or you can have a dual size 2 turret that comes with a bespoke turret for the Buccaneer. Gimbaled size 2s, 2 gimbaled size 2s, and 2 gimbaled size 1s. Of course, you're never going to match the missile capacity of the Reliant, but well, that's the Reliant speciality. But this is much more is faster. It's actually very fast. I believe speed is actually its kind of whole deal, if I'm remembering correctly. The only thing unfortunate about it now is that it's not set up with like storage things, which the Gladius is. That'll change in the future, but as things get updated to the new standards. But Buccaneer is a very, very nice ship. I think in game right now, I think it's actually kind of neck and neck with price of a Hornet, though, which is kind of just a sad reality of the in-game prices. But it's a very nice ship. I should also mention, man, the performance was terrible. Was absolutely garbage. And then, like, well, now it is. and then I realized I didn't have my microphone on, and now it's actually decent. So, hot damn. All right, so the Dragonfly, one of the classic. Oh my god, this is like the Cyclone is amazing. I love the Cyclone. This is your classic hover bike. This is the first hover bike they made. I don't know why they're hovering currently. That's a little strange, but okay. It's a bit expensive in game. I think it's around the same price as a I think it's actually around the same price as an Aurora, maybe even actually more depending on the variant. But yeah, it's now it can also be used like the Nox, like presumably any hoverbike. It can be used as a snub fighter in space, although it's not a particularly impressive snub fighter. But on the ground, it's pretty nice. Hoverbikes, in general, though, their physics are just kind of iffy. I think the Dragonfly is kind of the exception. They worked on the Dragonfly a little bit more, but don't take my word on that. They're not in an amazing place. I mean, I did fly one like, a kilometer, to New Babbage. I did have my huge trek on one on Aegis Day, but like that wasn't the hardest terrain that I've seen. I've seen these things explode. Also, for if you're doing bunker missions with hostile turrets, at least for now, these actually will draw the attention of the. These will actually get shot down by the anti-air turrets, even though they're ground hover bikes. It's stupid, and they need to fix that. But it does make the Cyclone more useful, I guess. So that's something. All right. It's actually going to be surprisingly short. I'm a little amazed. All right, so the Kraken. The Kraken is... So imagine, if you will, you're a company that's has the absolute most shit reputation ever. You are known as the people that sell to pirates, right? So you're the new CEO, and you're like, hey, let's make a ship that says that we are going to make... We're the good guys. We're good guys. We make good ships. We make good ships for good people, good hardworking frontier militias, and then you make the perfect pirate hideout. It's a great ship. It looks to be a great ship. It has it's, as you can see, it has 4 landing pads and I believe 2 medium landing pads on the top of the deck. Very aircraft inspired, which is very nice. You also have 2, I don't know how well it'll show up, but you have 2 hangar bays, small hangar bays underneath here that are meant to, be able to repair stuff. And I couldn't tell you what the weapons are. It's actually, Drake is kind of well known for being overgunned as all hell. But, I mean, it's got some good guns, but not too much. I think actually one of these is like the literally one time I have ever seen a size 6 weapon on a ship. No joke. I think genuinely it is the one time I've seen a size 6 weapon on a ship, and it's not even like, set in stone. It could go up or it could go down. I'm just saying, it's a very strange, but it's very cool. There's also the, so this is massive. It's, I think, a little bit bigger than an Idris. It's kind of meant to be your, it is meant to be a carrier. You are supposed to launch fighters from this so they can do their jobs. You can also land it on a planet and take off from a planet, although if it's anything like the Reclaimer, it'll probably take you like an hour to get out of atmosphere. So be careful with that. There's also the Kraken Privateer, which is a conversion that became so mainstream that it actually became a variant, at least in lore. So anytime I mention conversions, that's why I mention conversions. But yeah, the Privateer, basically, one of the cool things around here, you have a massive cargo hold. I don't know how big, but it's massive. Not a cargo ship by any means, but it is like the Caterpillar, like take 4 Caterpillars. I think you're probably still a little shy. But you got that. You also have somewhere here, I think, a bespoke Dragonfly bay that just holds a bunch of Dragonflies. But the Privateer is a basically trading ship version that like takes like this area and the Dragonfly Bay, take that out and just put in like shops and hab modules. And the hangar or the Dragonfly Bay becomes like private shops or private meeting area. That is beautiful. Competition, the only competition for the Banu Merchantmen. And I don't know which one I would honestly want. I mean, like the privateer is such an interesting idea that it kind of makes the regular Kraken kind of, but I mean, don't get me wrong. I think the regular Kraken is going to be very popular for a lot of people, but, just maybe not, just, it's two very good options, I would say. Now the Vulture, I'm actually a little surprised we don't have at least the model here. It feels like it's about ready. It's like almost done. But it's not set to release for until sometime next year. But yeah, this is a salvage ship. It's a salvage ship. It does have a very interesting backstory, but I'm not going to get into that right now. You have, it's meant for one person. You have little cargo holds here, and these giant salvage arms, which are supposed to just chew things up, spit them out into scrap metal, bring them all the way back here. Very nice little ship. Got a little hab area here, and then your cockpit. Also have these ladders so you can literally climb up and get into the get into the cock. God. You also have this ladder here, which allows you to actually get into the cockpit from a door. I don't know if that's modeled here. It looks like it actually might be, surprisingly enough. But at least that's my understanding of it. I don't know what weapons it has. I'd love to see, speaking of conversions, I'd love to see some ridiculous thing where they swap out these arms for like size 7 cannons of some kind. But that's just a stupid dream. That's the stupid mercenary fever dream that just take any ship and just put a fuckload of guns on it, you know. And then we've got a very special ship here, at least for me, because I think I'm actually gonna get this. Got a little bit of money, got a little bit of funds. I think I'm gonna upgrade to this. I'm gonna go from a Reliant Tana and a Dragonfly to a Corsair and a Reliant Tana. So I think that'll be good. Again, very important. We have a parking sensor. I don't know why there's a parking sensor here. Okay, so I should actually get into actual details of the ship. So as we can see, it is a sideways Y. That is a very important detail. So the Drake Corsair is a competitor to the Connie. It's a little bit upgunned. It's supposed to have weaker armor, but I mean, armor isn't exactly in the game exactly right now, so eh. As you can see, it's got four, those are 4 size 5 mounts. Gimbaled size 4 laser cannons by default, at least that's what it's supposed to be. You have 2 size 4s with gimbaled size 3s on them. And then, I don't know how well you'll be able to see. Yeah, you have a bunch of missile racks. I don't think they've actually started work on this. I could be wrong. But if anything, I hope that kind of changes. I hope, actually, okay, if you change the wing to be like a Reliant wing with a bespoke missile launcher inside the wing, that would be cool. That would be cool. You also have 2 port and starboard size 2 turrets, dual size 2 turrets, broadsides, if you will, which is interesting. You also have a tail gun. Bunch of engines. It's actually interesting. You might think that this is going to be weird in terms of atmosphere, but because it's basically the only asymmetric things about it are the wings, it actually means it's it should theoretically be fine handling wise in atmosphere. Also, of course, the wings do fold up when you're landing. It does give it a kind of crazy look, but yeah. You also have a boarding elevator, I believe right here. And a ramp. It holds it's supposed to hold 72 units of cargo and can hold an Ursa in its cargo bay. Another interesting thing is the cockpit and co-pilot arrangement. You can fly the ship from either the pilot or co-pilot position, but the co-pilot actually has this sort of weird thing where they're behind the pilot, and then when they're actually in the seat drops down and goes into this area. So it's an interesting little thing. I think the way that I'm gonna kit mine out is probably a decent amount of stealth components, actually, and then put 4 gimbal size 4 laser repeaters, some good old rhinos on there, and then put some gimbal size 3 distortion repeaters as well. It's a pretty similar layout to how I have my Reliant, actually. So, and then assuming, well, and then also laser repeaters on all of the turrets. The biggest problem I have, or the biggest concern I have, is these side turrets, just their visibility. I think everybody's kind of a little worried about that. I think actually my honest recommendation would be change them just a little bit, still have them be size 2, like dual size 2 broadsides. I think that's fine, but aesthetically, take a note from the Gata Kraken with its turrets, and have the turrets like in their resting position. I would say have them facing forwards, and then have the turret layout kind of match the angle of the hull. I mean, it doesn't matter if like the guns are at like, 9 and 3 o'clock or 12 and 7 o'clock. It doesn't matter, really. And I mean, Drake has some funky looking ships. I mean, if you have some weird ass turret alignment, it's not that big of a deal. It would probably just add more character, if anything. But yeah, that's my whole thing. I'm gonna wait until tomorrow. I'm gonna wait till tomorrow before I actually pull the trigger on this bad boy. But just in case the new MISC ship that they've been saying, just in case that's somehow in my price range, which I think it's gonna be like 2 times out of it. So, but yeah, so that was Drake Day. Actually went by relatively quickly. So yeah, until next time, have a good day, great day even. Chowskis.